McDonald's is a fast food restaurant chain that started in 1940.
We interrupt regular programming for this McDonald's commercial break. It's McDonald's delicious Big Mac sandwich. It's 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, and onions on a sesame seed bun. And now it's only 59 cents with the purchase of any size fries and Dr. Pepper or other soft drink. 59-cent Big Mac sandwiches at McDonald's. Have you had your break today? We now return to your regular programming.
In 1929, shortly after they graduated from high school, Maurice Mack and Richard Dick McDonald left their native New Hampshire for California. Attracted by the motion picture industry, their first jobs were as stagehands at Columbia Movie Studios, hauling sets and working lights during back-breaking shifts on silent film sets. Their first business was a small movie theater called the Mission Theater Building in a rented building in Glendora, California. After 4 years, they still had not turned a profit, so they began to look around for a business that might be more lucrative. In 1937, the brothers opened a drive-in hot dog stand called the Airdrome in Monrovia. The Airdrome at 742 East Huntington Drive was one of 2 original orange juice stands. It and the Giant Orange, a second stand at 721 East Huntington, were at the Monrovia Flying Field. The stands, which sold orange juice, hot dogs, hamburgers, and one sold beer, were on the opposite sides of Route 66 to attract traffic going in both directions. The Airdrome was eventually cut in half and moved to San Bernardino, which the first McDonald's named stand was created. This would be a larger car hop drive-in with a barbecue pit on the corner of 14th and E Streets in San Bernardino. They would name it McDonald's, and it was located at 1398 North E Street at West 14th Street and would open up on May 15, 1940. The McDonald's car hop drive-in could easily serve 125 cars at a time, offering a 25-item menu that included barbecue pork and beef sandwiches, barbecue ribs, and hamburgers. It included a staff of 20 attractive car hops. Despite their prosperity, the McDonald brothers were not happy. The brothers longed for a less complicated operation without the annoyances of unreliable car hops and the leather-jacketed customers they attracted. They soon became the #1 teen hangout in San Bernardino. Within 5 years, with sales of $200,000 per year, they were among the richest families in town. Dick and his wife, with single Mac, lived in a mansion with a view. Every year, they bought 3 brand new Cadillacs with annual income of more than $100,000 between them, and they were content. The brothers introduced the Speedee service system in 1948, putting into expanded use their principles of the modern fast food restaurant. The McDonald's closed their drive-in for 3 months in order to streamline the operation. The new menu was simple: hamburgers and cheeseburgers, which had been about 80% of their business, French fries, shakes, soft drinks, and apple pies. They decided to terminate all of the car hops. The remodeled building, shaped like an octagon, had only 600 square feet. There were no tables to sit at, no jukebox, no cigarette vending machines, no payphones, no newsstands, and no car hops. As a result, McDonald's succeeded in discouraging teenagers from patronizing their business. Specially designed equipment included 2 6-foot grills, stainless steel Lazy Susans, spatulas suited for volume flipping, and a stainless steel pump dispenser for squeezing a pre-measured portion of ketchup and mustard evenly on each bun. The tasks of the kitchen crew were broken down into clearly defined steps which untrained cooks could follow. The savings in preparation time allowed the McDonald's to lower the price of a hamburger from 30 cents to 15 cents. A bag of French fries was 10 cents and a cup of coffee was 5 cents. Since all hamburgers were prepared with the same condiments, they could be prepared before they were ordered and kept warm along with the fries under an infrared lamp. Orders could now be filled in 15 seconds. 3 years after the conversion to fast food outlet, the McDonald brothers were grossing $277,000 per year. The unique automation of McDonald's and its high level of profitability received some press coverage, which in turn brought numerous visitors. Many who toured the San Bernardino operation opened imitations in various parts of Southern California, including Glenn Bell, who would go on to found the Taco Bell's restaurant chain. The brothers realized that the octagonal building could not keep up with the demand, so they demolished the building and built a new restaurant with 2 golden arches designed by Dick McDonald. The Golden Arch building became the prototype for every McDonald's restaurant until 1968. The street sign, featuring 1 golden arch and the Speedee mascot, was also installed. In 1954, Ray Kroc, a seller of milkshake machines, learned that the McDonald brothers were using 8 of his multi-mixers in their San Bernardino restaurant. When the brothers ordered 2 more multi-mixers, Kroc decided the time had come to see the operation in person. By this time, the McDonald brothers were grossing $350,000 per year and had sold 15 franchises. After an observation, along with a former tour and long conversation with the McDonald brothers, it was enough to convince Kroc that the McDonald formula was a ticket to success. Mr. Kroc suggested that they increase their effort to franchise their efficiency system. He envisioned each new McDonald's restaurant with 8 multi-mixers. Upon further reflection, though, he began to see the real potential behind the franchises. Kroc continued to pester the McDonald brothers regarding expansion. When they said they liked it fine in San Bernardino and had no desire to scout out new locations or hire managers for these outlets, Kroc said he would do it. He would do everything and just send them a check every month. Kroc's persistence paid off. The brothers started to talk numbers. Kroc suggested the parent company take 2% of the gross sales of any franchised outlet. Until this time, the brothers had merely sold their name and their Speedee service system for a one-time fee of $1,000. Kroc successfully negotiated a 10-year contract, which gave him the right to set up McDonald's restaurants throughout the country, except in the handful of territories in California and Arizona, which were already licensed by the McDonald brothers. As he passed the 6-year mark of his 10-year contract with the McDonald brothers, Kroc began to fear that his growing chain would be taken away when the contract expired. Since signing the contract, there were 228 outlets with gross sales of $37.8 million. Kroc was bothered by the financial inequity of the agreement, but he also wanted a complete control of the operation. In 1961, Kroc offered to buy out the McDonald's for $500,000. Dick and Mac considered the offer for a long time and then told Kroc the asking price was $2.7 million. Although he was deeply in debt, Kroc successfully negotiated a loan. The interest he ultimately paid brought the cost up to $14 million. When Ray Kroc found out that the purchase price did not include the location at 14th and E Street, he was furious. He made the brothers change the name to Big M and vowed never to talk about the brothers for the rest of his life. In 1961, Hamburger University was opened to train franchisees and corporate decision makers. In 1962, McDonald's replaced its Speedee, the Hamburger Man symbol, with its now famous golden arches. A year later, the company sold its billionth burger. In 1965, the McDonald's Corporation went public. Ray Kroc's new version of McDonald's included introducing new items to the menu. That same year, the Filet-O-Fish sandwich, billed as the fish that catches people, was introduced. One item that flopped was the Hula Burger, which was an extra slice of cheese with a slice of pineapple. In 1968, the now legendary Big Mac made its debut, and we all remember that slogan.
I see they got the Big Mac, I got the Big Mick. We both got 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, and onions. But
by 1969, McDonald's had sold its 5 billionth hamburger. The year before, the company had opened its 1,000th restaurant, and by 1970, McDonald's was in all 50 states. In 1972, the company passed the $1 billion mark in annual sales, and by 1976, McDonald's had served 20 billion hamburgers, and system-wide sales exceeded $3 billion. McDonald's pioneered the breakfast fast food with the introduction of the Egg McMuffin in 1973. By 1977, the company added a full breakfast line to the menu. In 1974, McDonald's acted on that philosophy in an original way by opening the first Ronald McDonald House in Philadelphia to provide a home away from home for the families of children in nearby hospitals. In 1975, McDonald's opened its first drive-through window in Oklahoma City. This service gave Americans a fast, convenient way to get quick meals. The company's goal was to provide service within 50 seconds, quicker where possible. Drive-through sales eventually accounted for more than half of McDonald's system-wide sales. The 80s turned out to be one of the fastest-paced decade yet. Efficiency combined with expanded menu continued to draw customers. McDonald's was already entrenched in the suburbs, so they began to focus on urban centers and introduce new architectural styles. Though McDonald's restaurants no longer looked identical, the company made sure food quality and service remained constant. Chicken McNuggets were introduced in 1983, and by the end of the year, McDonald's was the second largest retailer of chicken in the world. On January 14, 1984, Ray Kroc passed away. Also that same year, the company would face another tragedy when on June 18, 1984, at a San Ysidro McDonald's in San Diego, California, a lone gunman fatally shot 21 people and injured 19 others. It was then the worst mass shooting in the nation's history. The restaurant would be torn down and a monument commemorating the victims would be erected. In the mid-1980s, McDonald's, like other traditional employers of teenagers, was faced with a shortage of labor in the United States. The company met this challenge by being the first to entice retirees back into the workforce. The first play place, with the familiar crawl tube design with ball pits and slides, was introduced in 1987. In 1987, ready-to-eat salads were also introduced to lure more health-conscious consumers. That year, McDonald's introduced its Monopoly game as a sales promotion based on the Hasbro board game Monopoly. Customers were encouraged to buy more to win various prizes, including cash, food, and other larger prizes. Let's just say I played it a lot, and the biggest prize I ever won was a free French fry. By 1987, 1/4 of all breakfasts eaten out in the United States came from McDonald's restaurants. By the end of 1991, There were more than 12,000 system-wide restaurants. The 90s would be a period of record expansion internationally. They would have international units increasing from about 3,600 in 1991 to more than 11,000 by 1994. The number of countries with McDonald's outlets nearly doubled from 59 in 1991 to 114 countries in late 1998. In the United States, the number of units grew from 9,000 in 1991 to 12,500 in 1997. During the 1990s, McDonald's would introduce a number of iconic menu items as well as notable failures. These included, but not limited to, the McLean Deluxe Sandwich, which featured a 91% fat-free beef patty, was introduced in 1991, but really never caught on and was dropped from the menu in 1996. Several other menu items debuted in 1990s too, including fried chicken, pasta, fajitas, and even pizza. But all of these items failed as well. The grown-up and pricey Arch Deluxe Sandwich and the Deluxe line was launched in 1996 in a $200 million campaign to gain the business of more adults. But these turned out to be bombs. In 1992, basketball player Michael Jordan became the first celebrity to have a McDonald's value meal named after him. The McJordan, a quarter pounder with pickles, raw onion slices, bacon, and barbecue sauce, was available at Chicago franchises. In 1993, McDonald's would introduce the McCafe, a cafe-style accompaniment to McDonald's restaurants. The concept was created by McDonald's Australia, which started with Melbourne in 1993. The following year, McDonald's would ban smoking within its 1,400 wholly owned restaurants. So, were you one of these collectors in the late 1990s? On the marketing side, McDonald's scored big in 1997 with a Teeny Beanie Baby promotion in which about 80 million of the toy collectibles were gobbled up virtually overnight. The chain received some bad publicity, however, when it was discovered that a number of customers just purchased Happy Meals just to get the toys and threw the rest of the food away. During the 90s, Disney and McDonald's would often collaborate with movie promotions, which included 101 Dalmatians, Flubber, Mulan, Armageddon, and A Bug's Life. During the 1990s, McDonald's also invested in ownership of other restaurant brands such as Chipotle, Mexican Grill, Donato's Pizza, and even Boston Market. McDonald's and other fast food chains were soon at the center of Morgan Spurlock's 2004 documentary film, Super Size Me. It claimed that McDonald's food was contributing to the increase of obesity in society and that the company was failing to provide nutritional information about its food for its customers. The restaurant chain would eliminate its supersized option within months. McDonald's would sell off its share in Chipotle Mexican Grill in October of 2006. Until 2003, it owned Donato's Pizza, and on August 27, 2007, McDonald's sold Boston Market to Sun Capital Partners. Beginning in 2006, the restaurant chain implemented a company-wide redesign of all the restaurants. They introduced its Forever Young brand by redesigning all of its restaurants, the first major redesign since the 1970s. The restaurants began to resemble a coffee shop with wood tables, faux leather chairs, and muted colors. The red was muted to terracotta, and the yellow was shifted to golden for a more sunny look, and olive and sage green were added. The warmer look had less plastic and more brick and wood, with modern hanging lights for a softer glow. They wanted to move away from the whole fast food look that many of its competitors had also adopted. In 2016, McDonald's Create Your Taste electronic kiosks were seen in some restaurants internationally, where customers could custom order meals. In September 2020, McDonald's partnered with rapper Travis Scott to release the Travis Scott Meal. They would follow with collaborations with J Balvin, BTS, and Cardi B. On May 16, 2022, McDonald's announced the closure of all of its restaurants in Russia due to the ongoing conflict with Ukraine. It would ultimately sell all of its 850 stores in Russia. In July of 2023, the company announced it was working towards a new fast food brand called Cosmix. The outlets would be smaller footprint than the regular McDonald's restaurants and focused on selling coffees and other drinks to afternoon customers. The name for the brand came from Cosmic, a McDonaldland mascot that appeared in advertisements in the late 1980s and early 1990s. Today, there are over 40,300 restaurants worldwide that are either franchised or company-owned. McDonald's restaurants are in 120 countries and territories and serve 68 million customers each day. Thank you for watching. If you like this content, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Thanks.